Hey everybody, what you're witnessing is a very mysterious mission carried out by allies against the enemy by ship. Okay, this game is called Darkfall. It is a great game, but I'll get into the actual game itself later. Let me tell you about what's going on and what's going to be happening in this video that you're going to be watching. Basically, I was just walking around, acting all cool, and I see this big giant ship outside of our city, and I'm like, this is either an ally ship about to go somewhere, or an enemy ship about to attack us. So I went out to it, and it was an ally ship, so I jumped on, and I have no idea what the hell is going on, but I see a few familiar people on here, so I'm like, okay, they must be out to go kill somebody, considering how well armed and equipped they are. So I jumped on, because I was bored and I had nothing else to do. So, this is the ship. It's called a schooner, and it is captained by, I don't remember. But keep in mind that while all this is happening, I have no idea where we're going, or if there's going to be, like, some big ship war, or if we're just going to go, you know, kill some monster or anything. I have no idea what's going on this entire time. I'm just blindly jumped on a ship and went with them. Which is, in a nutshell, why this game is just so amazingly awesome. It's because I think it's the only game where you're not given any pointers at all by anything ever. You're basically just, you make a character, you're thrown into this gigantic world, and you're not told what to do, where to go, how anything works. It is amazing, and god damn it, anytime something like this happens, it's always like, it's great, because it's a big mystery. And there's nothing more entertaining in games, at least to me, than finding things out by yourself. Which is why WoW, the initial WoW, was initially appealing to people. Because you had to find out what to do, how to do it, how many people to bring, and what you had to do the things to do to get the people to bring to kill things. That's why WoW was great to begin with, and then it just kind of degenerated into what it is now, which is a kid's game. What games like this should be is something that feels rewarding. Something that if you put a lot of time and effort in, you get something great out of it. Like in Vanilla WoW, as it's called, back in Vanilla WoW, if you put forth a lot of time and effort, you could run the original Naxxramas, the most seldomly run instance in the entire game that you don't even have access to anymore. You know, you had to first of all find the attunement quest to get in, and then you had to find people who did it as well. Then you had to find the instance itself, and then you had to, you know, learn the bosses step by step. You know, it was just a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of people spending a lot of time doing something, and if you killed the bosses, you got rewards, meaning you got epic gear. I guess that was the big reward back in the day. You got epic gear, which was rewarding at the time. You know, epic gear was hard to come by. Now, of course, they just hand it out like fucking chocolate. But in this game, if you put forth a lot of time and effort, namely, you know, like spending hours and hours on end cutting down trees one by one, you get tons of timber and shit, and that was a cannon which scared the shit out of me. Watch me act like a total pussy and hide. If you put forth a lot of time and effort by doing that, you can make ships. And, you know, if other guilds do that, you know, put forth that same amount of effort, then they have ships themselves, and then there's, like, big, giant ship battles, which, even if you lose, you still have the great experience because you put so much effort into it beforehand. So, now let me get into sucking Darkfall's dick a little bit deeper. Oh, that sounded so wrong, dude. Basically, it's the best game ever made, without a doubt. But there are some problems. Chief among them would be that there's nothing to do most of the time, unless you're with a bunch of people, in which case you have things to do at all times. But unless you are with a bunch of people, there's pretty much nothing to do after a while. And I say after a while because there are things to do by yourself, but they get so tedious you just want to put a sword through your eyes. Basically, I've only been playing for about a month and a half, and all I've found out to do by myself is either A to D. A, go mining. Actually, let's just call A, go gathering, like getting ore or herbs or wood, which, by the way, has a great mechanic so that you don't have to sit there and do that the whole time. You just find a node, you left click, and then it does it for you automatically until the node runs out of stuff. Now here, I'm doing target practice with Acid Arrow, my favoriteest spell in the entire game. Because all I've ever done so far is B, grind on trolls. And by that I mean, you have to grind in this game. Okay, there are no levels, but there is a grind. You have to grind up every individual skill that you learn, and your stats which get you skills. Basically all I've done is grind trolls and earth magic, and there's barely any like easier mobs that you could just, you know, get the game, go to and kill for hours. No, you have to, you know, get your stats up before you go out and actually attempt to do that stuff, which is unfortunate, but it's true. C, something that I found to do by myself, is auto swim. Like what I'm doing right now, you just press numlock and you auto swim while you AFK for a while. And now, what we're all doing is, I have no idea. Again, I have no idea where we're going or what we're doing, but I just following the crowd because I'm bored, and you know the story. Or D, something that I found out to do by myself. The last thing I found to do by myself is actually, that's it. A to C. Now, I'd love to sit here and tell you all the mechanics of Darkfall and tell you how to play and be Blizzard, but I'm not going to do that. If you ever decide to pick up this game, which has a 14-day free trial if you want to download it and go, you have to learn all that stuff by yourself like a good boy. Because I know there's no girls that watch me or would care to play this game. So let's get into what's happening here. Now, back there I jumped off the ship because I saw some guy from my clan, like the only guy from my clan on that ship, jump off as well. So I was like, okay, well, if my guy's gonna jump off, I might as well jump off too. So again, I have no idea where we're going. And then I see this! A town! We are heading towards a town. It is very dangerous in there. There are probably lots of enemies, so I'm freaking out. And I'm like, oh, I'm not very well equipped for this. How are we gonna get over this wall? And then they do that. A big elevator. So now we're on the wall. Rather, I would be if I got my big fat dwarf ass up there. Okay, now we're on the wall. So, what is this big, huge, mysterious scheme that my entire alliance was planning? Well, let's go find out. So now I'm hearing all these explosions, like, there's a lot of explosions here, because that's what I would think if I heard some explosions. And then I look out to the ocean. Not now, I guess. I go to this big wooden elevator thing. And then I look out to the ocean. And then I see the ship I was just on firing its cannons at the walls. And I was gonna... I assumed that there was a lot of enemies in here. That's why there were so many people. So I was charging up my big acid rain thing that I just learned. But of course there was nobody here. So I had to just charge it for a while and throw it somewhere and let it fizzle out. So later on in Vent, I actually got in Vent for this. I don't think that getting in Ventrilo for this game is necessary at all, but everybody in this fucking game would disagree with me there. I think Ventrilo ruins this game for me, quite honestly. I like the mystery aspect of it. I like the not knowing what to do, what's going on aspect of it. If I was in Vent, I would know exactly what's going on at all times. But that's just boring as hell. I want to, you know, have a big mysterious adventure like the one I'm having right now. So yeah, the whole in Ventrilo later, the big mission here, the goal was to just knock down every wall in the city, because I have no idea. They said it was a transfer, like one clan was giving control of the city to another clan, and the clan that's destroying all these walls right now is the one they were apparently giving it to. So, like, I don't understand the politics of this game at all, and I probably would if I was in Vent more often. But I understand pretty much everything else except the politics, which is kind of important, but I don't get it. The recipient of this city is destroying all the walls. If it's a transfer, just leave the walls there. You'll have walls when you get the city. So I don't get it. They probably know what they're doing, but to me it just seemed bass-ackwards. So yeah, that's Darkfall, and that's the remains of the city. About 45 minutes later, spent like 45 minutes there. That's all that's left of the city.
many DHOV.
Really?